days are short and cold and dark, and the winters are long and harsh. But we are all still here, still showing up to the events in our life, the happenings that take place as a family, and it can be difficult sometimes to know how to spend your time. And more often than not, we are finding ourselves pulling out our phones, turning on the TV, and putting screens on for our children and for ourselves on these cold winter days. But I want to encourage you today to put the screens away, turn off your phones, and engage in some meaningful, real connection with your family. Sometimes we are just plain overwhelmed when we are all cooped up inside. So I want to first encourage you to put your kids in the snowsuit, put yourself in your snowsuit, bundle everyone up, and get outdoors. It is magic for the soul and for our mood. We all feel better when we take the time to be out in the sunshine, in the fresh air, in the different temperatures, and build a capacity to see the good in the harsh, difficult times of winter. Even if it's just to shovel your sidewalk for 10 minutes, getting outside and getting the mail or pulling the kids around in a sled is better than nothing at all. So above all, I want to encourage all of you, whether you have kids or it's just yourself or your spouse, get outside and make it a habit to get yourself out there. As I'm sitting here right now recording this video, I see my husband outside on his skis. This is a relatively speaking new hobby for him, and maybe I can encourage you to find something like that that can give you a focus and purpose to get outside, like skiing or snowshoeing, maybe even bird watching or something like that, that makes you feel inspired to get out and gives you a task to do once you get out there. For kids, if you have a sandbox, don't feel like at the end of the summer you need to close your sandbox down. It is so fun to see what the children create with shovels and buckets and with their Tonka trucks in the snow. Even if things are frozen or there's clumps of ice, you could add water, or on the days where maybe it's a little bit more melted outside, there's so much fun sensory opportunity there. Don't be afraid about keeping your mitts on all the time. If you start getting cold, just go inside. Next time, maybe bundle up a little bit more. I have lots of fun tips for getting kids outside, but the most important thing is just getting them out there, even if it's for 10 minutes. Keep the bar low. Keep it low for yourself too, and maybe you'll be more inclined to get out there, but I guarantee you it will make you feel happy. There is so much research to support that, and I know from anecdotal experience too, it makes everything in the rest of the day go so much more smoother if you can start your day outside, but anytime is the best time to go outside. For those of you who are watching and don't know, my name is Victoria, and I used to actually run a forest school for children 0 to 5 in my own backyard in the maple bush I used to live in. And we have since moved to our family farm, and I am no longer running that business. I am being a stay-at-home mom now and taking care of my own children and focusing on that in this season of life. Now that we live here in our farmhouse, we are discovering new ways that we can play outside that we didn't have at our house last winter. So this is our first winter here, and it is so fun on the farm because we can also take refuge in the barn and see the baby lambs we have right now, which is super fun. And I know that not everybody has that opportunity, but getting outside in different places presents many different opportunities for learning, discovery, and general health and well-being. The more you do it, the easier it's going to get, and the more often you present the opportunity to be outside with your kids, the better they will get at it and the more resilience they will build up. So don't be discouraged if the first few times going outside is such a pain. Trust me, I know how hard it is to transition children into playing in snowsuits, especially when they are little, but keep doing it and they will come around eventually and learn to love being in the outdoors and finding new and creative ways to play. The winter offers so many opportunities that you don't get in other seasons. If you live in a place with a lot of snow, there is so much fun to be had. But if you are finding yourself stuck inside, there is hope too for good times. I want to encourage you to pause the watching TV or movies, pause being on your phone, and instead set out some play materials for your children to engage with while you do the tasks you need to do in the home. Maybe that looks like taking all of their toys and organizing them into bins in a closet while they're sleeping, and then pulling out just a few. And maybe right now, after it's been the holiday season, your children have a lot of new and exciting toys. Maybe it's putting away all the toys that you had out prior to that and just having out some of the new materials they have received as presents. And instead of just setting them on a shelf or in a bucket, try to set them up in a fun and interesting way for them. So for example, if my little guy who is 3 is really into farm animals, and one thing I could do for him is take our wooden blocks and on our coffee table set up an animal pen, and then put the cows in a section and some horses and some pigs in different areas. And maybe I could even add some popcorn kernels to pretend little troughs and set up sort of a barn-like scene. And when he comes and wakes up in the morning, he will be excited to play with these materials, which maybe otherwise have not been used in this way. And so it opens up an opportunity for more curiosity and inquiry. In the early learning sector, we call doing this setting up a provocation. We are provoking the children's imagination and thought and play as we offer them an invitation to engage with the materials in a new way. Setting up play invitations can be really helpful for you this winter if you are finding being cooped up in the house is taking a toll on your mental health. Set up these little provocations along the way. Maybe you have one every week, or maybe it's one every day. There's no pressure for it to be new every single day, but trying to just add a little element every day, or even add a little question for them every day, could be really helpful in keeping them engaged with the play materials that you have out. I find that anytime my children are starting to drive me nuts and I'm losing patience, the best thing I can do for all of us is obviously to first take a deep breath and get myself in a better zone, but then setting up a play opportunity for them that's different than what they already have out. Not just saying, hey, go play with your toys, you have so many toys to play with, but instead finding some materials, whether that's a tabletop activity or a play activity in the playroom, and setting something up for them that they haven't touched before. An example of this was the other day, I pulled a chalkboard that we used to have on our wall down, put it on the coffee table, which seems to be my place where I set up these provocations for them. It's just a central place in our house and works great for that. And I put out some chalk that they haven't touched since the summer, and they played for many minutes with the chalk on the chalkboard. We drew pictures. My 1-year-old made marks. My 3-year-old turned it into an animal stall, zoo, whatever it was, and we had lots of fun with that. And it also allowed me then to do the dishes and make a meal without children clinging to my leg. The next thing I want to suggest to you is making it a part of your daily routine to pull out books, children's books and grown-up books. When you have downtime and you reach for your phone, try instead reaching for a book. This may sound kind of silly, but all too many times we are grabbing for our phones. That just adds nothing to our brains. It turns our brains to mush. But if we reached for a good book, we can be inspired, we can learn, we can be stimulated, we can engage with a good story and feel so much better. And it's the same for children. There's so much opportunity in literature. And I think we have opportunity as parents to encourage our children to fall in love with what literature has to offer, with stories and with characters. It also helps them regulate their nervous system. It brings them down, it calms them, whereas a really stimulating children's program on TV will not do that for your kids. Another bonus of reading together is having that contact with your children, that physical touch, sitting together, snuggling, calming down. It builds strong connections between the both of you. I could sit on the couch and read my son books all day long, and he loves it so much too. My 1-year-old is really starting to be into it as well, and he can sit down for at least one story at a time, and it is so magical. So if you can do anything this winter, may I suggest 1, get outside, and 2, read books. The last thing I want to leave you with today is in the evening time when your kids go to bed or when you are finding you have nothing to do and you're stuck at home, instead of reaching for your phone or turning the TV on, instead of doing that, I want you to find a puzzle, set it up on your dining room table, find a paint by number, another sort of craft that you enjoy, bake something, play guitar. Find a hobby that you love to do that doesn't involve a screen and sit down, put some music on maybe, put a podcast on, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and just be with the person you live with or in quiet solitude and engage with materials with your hands that doesn't involve a screen. This winter is long and it's cold. Today, especially for us here, it is super windy, and I know that we are going to need to use a lot of mental energy and teamwork, my husband and I, to get through this winter without going nuts. So I hope that this video brought you some encouragement to be engaged in your homes this cold winter season. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again next week.